Our journey through life is a journey of relationships and experiences. The Connection and Experience Map is a simple but powerful way to understand how relationships and experiences shape our lives. It's based on Relational-Experiential Theory, a framework that brings together decades of psychological research into one clear model. For over 100 years, psychology has consistently shown two big things. First, the relationships we have, starting from childhood, deeply affect our mental health and development. And second, the experiences we have, especially the really good or really hard ones, also shape how we think, feel, and function. But here's the thing, these two ideas have usually been studied separately. Relational-Experiential Theory connects the dots by bringing these two key ideas together. Let's break it down. We can think of relationships as falling on a continuum from toxic and abusive through to loving and nurturing. Loneliness and isolation also sit on the difficult end of this scale. The importance of relationships has been studied in depth, underpinned by attachment theory, which shows how our earliest bonds shape how we relate to others over the course of our lives. Now think about experiences. They also fall on a continuum, from traumatic and harmful to enriching and uplifting. On the painful end, we see the long-term impact of trauma, which has become well known through authors such as Bessel van der Kolk and his book, The Body Keeps the Score. On the other end, we have peak experience, moments of deep joy and focus, known as flow state, from the pioneering work of Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Relational experiential theory suggests that these two continuums don't operate in isolation, but instead they interact dynamically. When we plot them as intersecting lines, we get the central framework of the Connection and Experience Map. This map creates 4 quadrants, each representing a different state of human functioning. The learned helplessness quadrant is where toxic relationships and traumatic experiences come together. It's a place of pain, hopelessness, and regression. This quadrant is linked to mental health challenges like depression, anxiety, and PTSD. The name of this area is a reference to Martin Seligman's classic work on depression. We could also call this quadrant Struggle Town. The growth quadrant, at the opposite corner, is the place where we find the best outcomes, where positive experiences happen in the context of nurturing, loving relationships. This is where we grow, learn, and thrive. This space is the home of positive psychology, including ideas like growth mindset, character strengths, flow state, broaden and build, and positivity resonance. The experiential resilience quadrant is the space where positive experiences help us get through when relationships are tough. The relational resilience quadrant is the space where positive relationships help buffer us against difficult experiences. In the center of the map is a 5th area, the stagnation trap. This is a bland and boring space, characterized by underutilization of skills and abilities. In this space, we are neither moving forward or backward. Life's not objectively bad here, but it's not particularly fun either. It's that meh feeling many of us know all too well. Professor Corey Keyes named this space languishing in his seminal work on the mental health continuum. The map also tracks how we relate to our body and mind. In the learned helplessness quadrant, people often feel physically run down and emotionally disconnected. But in the growth quadrant, mind and body come together. We feel strong, healthy, and clear in mind. This integration of mind and body is shown as converging lines on the map. When this all comes together, we have the complete connection and experience map. There are 5 continuums embedded in the map, which are called the pathways for progress. These are the levers we can use to create positive change, no matter where we're starting from. This includes nurturing relationships, positive experiences, healthy relationship with body, healthy mental state, and growth focus. We are constantly moving on the map with the ups and downs in life. As we move along one pathway in a positive direction, it often pulls the others along too. That's why life can feel like a spiral. We tend to spiral up toward growth or down toward struggle, depending on the patterns and habits we build. These feedback loops, whether positive or negative, create a cycle of rewards or consequences that tends to become self-reinforcing. To support our journey, there are 6 navigation tips, guiding principles that help us make sense of how we move through life over time. Trajectory. We tend to have momentum in a certain direction. Set points. Sometimes we keep coming back to one particular area. Personal development. We all have the capacity to grow and improve. Balance. Growth must be in balance to be sustainable. Adaptation. We need to adapt to changing circumstances. And choice. We don't always choose what happens, but we can choose how we respond. In short, the connection and experience map gives us a clear, research-informed way to understand our personal journey. By plotting the intersection of relationships and experiences, we can see where we've been, and more importantly, where we want to go. The connection and experience map isn't just a theory, it's a tool for real-life change. By focusing on the pathways for progress, you can take practical steps toward feeling better, growing stronger, and living a more meaningful life, one step at a time. Want to learn more? Visit the Relational-Experiential website. Just scan the QR code on screen. And if this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe below.